Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we are going to take a look at the newest releases from Zombie Sailors Heels and Faces. Now, today's review, basically these are just general re-releases of pre-existing figures. Now, you guys know how I feel about a lot of these companies that are doing that are basically taking already existing figures, slapping on different paint schemes, and reselling them. I hate that. But as a collector, my God, with my OCD, I'm going to pick up every single variation of those figures nonetheless. And you know what? Some of these figures, I really do enjoy the re-releases, the different paint schemes. And every time they do come out with new variations, I do hope that some of the figures do get better, that they do make some kind of improvements. So yeah, I am kind of looking forward to the different figures, and hopefully there are some upgrades. So let's pick out the figures and see what kind of upgrades, if any, they've come out with. Now, the first set we're going to look at is actually a tag team set, and it is going to include Power and Glory, Paul Roma, and Hercules Hernandez. So, these figures did come out not too long ago in white, and now here they are in black. And the tag team set. So, if you guys are wondering, from Ringside Collectibles, you are able to purchase these tag team protective cases. So these do work for Zombie Sailors. They do work for, I think Grapplers and Gimmicks have a 2-pack now. Well, they do have 2-packs. They have the Quebecers tag team sets, for example. The Rougeau Brothers, etc. Mattel Retros, the 2-pack Mattel figures from Ringside Collectibles. They have their sets as well. So these work beautifully. If you're looking to protect your Hasbro 2-packs, these protectors work beautifully. One downside, the what was it? I think it was the Matt Cardona Nick Gage. One of those tag team sets were like extra large and didn't fit in here. But no, these do work beautifully, so that's awesome. I'm just kind of looking at the back of the card. I am ecstatic to get the AWA era Legion of Doom figures. So anytime you come across Legion of Doom Road Warrior figures, I'm always interested in that. Looks like they're going to do another Ahmed Johnson, so that looks pretty killer. And of course, when they come out with the new Series 4 figures with Bad News Brown, Ric Flair, and Abdullah Butcher, those figures I'm definitely interested in whenever they come out with. So, man. Public Enemy. I don't know who Public Enemy is. I didn't watch wrestling when those guys aired, but their figures look pretty sweet though. So, good graphics, nice pose. Kind of give you a little preview of what those guys are going to look like. And of course, Macho Man to go along with the bloody Ric Flair. These two figures, so kind of gives you that nice, 1992, what was it, WrestleMania 8 feel during the heavyweight title match. Yeah. All right, so this was one of 1,500, and I was able to pick up a couple of sets because, I am a on-card collector after all, but, with me, I do like to pick up that second set and have a loose collection. And when I do these review videos, it is important that I have a second set that I'm able to show you the actual figures themselves. But I gotta say right off the bat, opening up the second package, I was not impressed, not one bit. One of the first things that I noticed the second I opened up the package, all right, mind you, there are not any removable accessories with this figure, okay? So it's not like you're swapping out one hand and putting another hand on this figure. You're not putting on one open hand and putting on a closed fist, for example, or anything like that. This dual set does not come with any accessories. So, why do you have a removable hand? Makes absolutely no sense. When I first saw Zombie Sailors figures back in like 2022, I remember I was kind of going like, I think I was like on eBay, or maybe I was like surfing the web, and I came across Zombie Sailor figures, and I was so super thrilled. Like, I was ecstatic to come across the Heels and Faces line. For the longest time, I'd been waiting for these figures to come out, and when they finally hit, I was killer ecstatic with Series 1. And I think, unlike many series, you know, where most series with their first release, they're kind of getting their footing until they get a couple of series released and kind of really find, you know, their grounding. No, Series 1 was fantastic. Dino Bravo was an awesome figure. I liked the referee, and I think even Sable was a good figure. I like the accessory. So, no, Series 1 was great. And even then, a lot of the series, I still enjoyed the figures. But if you notice through my last several reviews, I just haven't had the same enjoyment with Zombie Sailor figures. And now I kind of look at this first set of figures, and right off the bat, no, that doesn't excite me not one bit. So it's still the exact same figure. They didn't really make any changes. Still made the figure extremely slim. Now, with the cloth accessory, I kind of like that a lot because it kind of gives you that Remco feel, right? You know, Remco was synonymous with adding cloth accessories with their action figures. And I think that's amazing. So whether you want the shirt or remove it, it's actually got a pretty good look without it. So I like that a lot. Great look aesthetically on the design of the pants. Nice, hard, incredible thickness, hard of the waist down. So head sculpt is amazing. Open hands, I've said it before, as someone who grew up with Hasbro's and had the British Bulldog and had the Series 2 Warrior, Series 1 Hulk Hogan, I'm so accustomed to having the, you know, arm slam down pose, right? The Hogan Plex, right? Or the Hulkaplex, whatever you want to call it. So I am, as someone who grew up with the 90s Hasbro figures, I am accustomed to playing with like the open hand figures. I am not one of those guys who are going to complain about open hand figures. Not really. As an adult, seeing that, does it bother me? Yeah, you kind of look at these figures and you're like, yeah, you would like something with like closed fists, right? But I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna complain too much about that. Nah, my biggest gripe is right off the bat to immediately have a broken hand right out of the package. That is frustrating. I mean, these things are expensive. This was like what, $65 packages, I believe it was, and I mean, these aren't 1990s Hasbro's. You're not paying $7 for a 2-pack. And one of the things about Zombie Sailors is these things are supposed to be incredibly well-made, crafted figures. I give Zombie Sailors a lot of credit. I've done a million reviews for their figures and have bragged about their stuff like crazy, but no, I can't give them credit on that figure. Highly disappointed with the Hercules. Paul Roma. Now, Paul Roma is... Got Chuck the Hands. So, Paul Roma is fantastic. I love the Paul Roma figure. So far, it looks like all of the pieces are in place. The overall look, without shirt, same exact design as Hercules. All right, play pose is perfect. Aesthetics of the figure is amazing. Head sculpt, incredible. Again, that hard thickness of the figure. Overall, this is an absolute perfect figure. Zombie Sailors knocked this figure out of the ballpark. Yeah, they kind of failed on this one big time, but at least I can say that this was a huge success. Absolute no doubt on this one. So Power and Glory, at least they were 50-50. All right. Not a whole lot to obviously talk about in this video, but now this one was kind of frustrating because this is the third time that they've released this figure. Really, more than once was unnecessary. And I think that when I think back at Zombie Sailors figures, and I think about, well, what was it about Zombie Sailors? Where did they go wrong? Or where did my love for Zombie Sailors, when did my feelings for them change? Or when did I don't want to say stop caring, because I still care about Zombie Sailors. I'm still a fan of the line. Even though I may not love the line as much as I once did, I am still a fan of the Heels and Faces line. That's why I still collect the figures. That's why I still pick them up. That's why I still do these reviews with you guys. I don't know. I have to say it began with Slick. I could be wrong. It could have been way before then. It could have been several figures after this one. But if I had to guess, it began with the Slick figure. Now, we know that the original Slick had the gray suit, and the next one I think had the dark blue suit. Now this one is more of a, what is that? Is that teal, or is that like a turquoise type of color scheme? But this is the third variation of Manager Slick, and when you look at the card back, it's literally the exact same card back that they used for the other two Slick figures. They don't even give you a new card backing with the figure, right? So the one that you had on gray with the gray suit and with the dark blue suit, same one. And if you're wondering what these guys look like in white, that's what their outfits were. So, I mean, there's obviously improvements. I mean, I like the black a lot better. I like the shirts, obviously, because I like dark colors. And I like the fact that they added pants. It gives it more of that graphical design. So, if you take away the shoddiness or the craftsmanship of the hand, these would have been a huge upgrade over the white. So, what was it about the original Slick that started the downfall or started my depreciation of the line of Heels and Faces figures? Well, I think it was the stupid head. And you know what? They've done it again, and they still have not fixed the figure. They still give him that Lego head. Come on, guys. I have to assume that there are literally thousands of fans out there. I mean, come on. One of 1,500, right? That's got to tell me at least 1,500 people minimum are going to buy that figure. So they are making sales, okay? And I'm not thinking like just 1,500 people are literally buying their stuff. I'm assuming there are literally thousands of people who buy their stuff all the time. And you're telling me that this is the best you can do? Now, I look at this figure and I kind of look at him. I'm like, you know what? I see myself in this figure. Well, what do I mean? I know you guys can't probably see it, but I mean, I have a lot of hair now, but in high school, I was in JROTC, and of course, later on, I was in the Army, so I always had a shaved head. But it was always very embarrassing for me because, you know, my head, it's always like very high up here, but then like once you get like right here, it's high up here, and then it just like sinks straight down. And like right here in my head, it's very flat. So like my head is caved in. And so I look at this Lego head and I think about my own caved in head. And I'm like, I kind of feel like I kind of see myself a little bit with this figure. So that kind of bothers me to an extent. So I kind of noticed this upstairs when I took this figure off. In the first couple of figures, they had like gave him like a normal regular hat. They gave him this type of hat, right? The black hat. And if you remember the hat that he wore for LJN, it fit neatly to his head, but this is sort of, I don't know what you call this hat. I think my wife referred to it as sort of like a newspaper type hat. Kind of like the type of hats you saw in like the 1920s and stuff. Something like Babe Ruth would wear a lot. And you know what? I like that a lot. I really love this hat. This hat is actually perfect. I think the hat might actually be the best quality of this figure because it actually snaps like perfectly. It is perfectly meshed with the lining of the head, right? So you can just sit it on there and it's gonna fall off. But once it like snaps right in there. It like connects. So that hat's not going anywhere. So that is actually beautiful. I like that a lot. Aesthetically, with the hat on, this is a fantastic, good-looking figure. But it's just that with the hat off, that whole Lego look. No, I want him to have a normal shaped head. Now, obviously, I get it. You probably won't be able to have that beautiful snap if you have just a regular... If you have a head like this, you probably can't have a head situated the right way. Now, I don't know. What's that hat that... the Nikolai Volkov hat. The... Oh, man. The Russian hat. It's got a specific name. I forget what it's called, but you could take like a hat like that, kind of like sit it on top of his head or something. And I'd rather have something like that. That kind of like, it's tight and fits firmly around, wraps around the head. And just have him have a regular head than this Lego squared off head. It just makes him look real. I'm just saying this much, man. If Zombie Sailors comes out with a fourth slick figure, because they can't come out with another a different character, I'm going to blow my freaking gasket. For the love of God, Zombie Sailors, I don't care if it's 6 years down the road. Do not come out with another slick figure. We've had enough. It's a good looking figure. We have 3 of them. We're good. But this is a really nice suit. I like the color and good shoes. I actually like this one better than the first two because I like the hat. Actually like the hat a lot better than the first one. So, is it sort of an improvement? I guess. All in all, to an extent, yeah. If you ask me, yes, it is an improvement. The power and glory is an improvement over the white version. The turquoise is an improvement over the blue or the gray. So, are they better figures? In essence, I guess, in that respect, based on how I've described them. But I just wanted to see something different, to be honest. And we're basically getting the same stuff over and over again. I hate that. So I just want to see. I want to see differentiation. I want to see different characters, and I just don't want to see the same thing re-released over and over again. And if that right there with the broken hand, it's not helping Zombie Sailor's cause in trying to keep me as a long-term customer. So, look, what is it? Going on 3 years now. And probably, call looking at my door. What is it, like 50 figures? 60 figures from Zombie Sailors? I mean, they put out a ton, man. They put out an absolute ton of figures. And out of 50 or 60 figures, I'm just estimating, how many of them are duplicates or re-releases? And that's what hurts. That's what hurts the line. You got like 50 figures, but maybe 30 of them are different, if that. So, but that's it for now, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment if you'd like. If not, no worries. I will talk to you in the next video, which is Grapplers and Gimmicks. I've been waiting on this video for a long time, guys. The 2 Macho Man sets, same figures, but I wanted to do them together because I wanted to look at both renditions. And I'm also going to compare them to the Macho Man from Hasbro because it's very similar. Alright, guys. That's it for now. Enough talking. Till tomorrow, guys.